going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, as you guys can see, we're walking the wonderful streets of Hollywood, Florida, on the way home from Dania. Just had a long last couple of days here at the Heavyweight Factory in South Florida, working hard, dedicating ourselves, to getting you guys some of the best boxing interviews and content out there. But to get into boxing news itself, I wanted to give my take on a couple of things. We'll start this video right here. Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. He's fighting and making his ESPN debut. It's going to be July the 15th at the Thomas & Mack Center. And he's fighting an unknown German domestic level fighter, undefeated fighter, heavyweight, in Tom Schwarz, and he's been catching a lot of criticism for it. And understandably so, because he's coming off the heels of a modern day heavyweight classic fight with Deontay Wilder. So it only makes sense that people want to see him run it back with Deontay Wilder right away. But you see, let me tell you guys something, okay? It's okay to be frustrated and want the fight again, because I want the fight again. It didn't happen, but I expected it not to happen. I look at things realistically in boxing. And not even just that, it was stated back in, I'm going to say December, from Ben Davison, who's Tyson Fury's trainer, that he was going to go his own route, that he was going to basically go his own route and step aside so Joshua and Wilder will have the chance to fight each other. Whatever, if they choose not to do it, that's their prerogative. But Ben Davison pretty much said that they're not going to fight Wilder next. They're going to go their own route because they feel he still felt, as Tyson Fury's trainer, that they had to get better in the gym and get more sharp before taking a fight like that again. Now, that's why this is not a surprise, the whole Tom Schwarz thing. I wish it was a better opponent, but you got to understand too, ESPN just threw a shit ton of money at Tyson Fury, a lot of money at Tyson Fury. And they're going to want to make sure and ensure that Fury goes in there and that he does the business and that he looks as spectacular as possible and gets a highlight reel knockout. Now, the guy is 24-0. He's got 16 knockouts, but he's never fought at this level. So it's a big step up for Tom Schwarz. Big, strong, 6'6". We'll see what happens, man. Anything can happen in boxing, but it's a fight that on paper, it looks like it's there for Fury to look good. It's one of those fights where Fury's supposed to look good. So with that being said, you can't get mad at Fury, because I'm gonna tell you why you really shouldn't get mad at Fury, because he came into the Wilder fight. He was the one who took the risk. You see what I'm saying? He took the risk in the Wilder fight. Being the guy from England coming to California, LA, to fight the American heavyweight champion in America. And the only reason we know that Wilder took the fight in the first place was because Tyson Fury was coming out that long layoff. There was no way in hell he was going to fight a match fit, Tyson Fury. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't going to. So Fury came in as the B-side. He was the B-side from another country, won the fight, got robbed, but in the eyes of many, he won the fight. Universally around the world, people thought he won the fight. So it worked out well for him, in his favor. And he took that, and he went from being the B-side to now be in a position, to now putting himself in a potential position of strength where he can be the A-side. You see? Because ESPN threw all that money at him. He took it. Now he's, for the first time in maybe his whole career, maybe dating back all the way to the days when he was with like Mick Hennessy in his early days, for the first time though at the top level, he will be looked after as a fighter. He will be someone that can be the A side of negotiations. He's the one that'll be built up in a good way, in negotiations, to be in a position of strength, because he'll be here, he'll be fighting in America, they'll be building his name up. So it works out well for him. And then on top of that, unlike Joshua and Wilder, Fury is a heavyweight now who has a TV deal in each country. He's got the massive TV deal with ESPN. He's got a deal in the UK with BT Sport. So he's doing a great job for his career. He's doing right for himself. And I know box fans don't give a shit about that. They don't care about that. But at the same time, you can't get mad at Fury, because last time I checked, Fury was the guy who took the belt off Klitschko when Klitschko was the man in the division. Fury was the guy who fought Wilder with 2 years plus outside the ring. So you see what I'm saying? He took the risk in his career, and if he wants to fight fucking Tom Schwarz next, then he should be allowed and be afforded the chance to fight Tom Schwarz next, okay? He's not someone that's ducking opposition. He doesn't duck people, okay? He's been showing a willingness to fight the best, more so than any heavyweight. And as far as I'm concerned, he's the man in the division. He's the lineal champion. He beat Klitschko when he was the man, and he beat Wilder in America. Outboxed him, outclassed him in some rounds of the fight. So you have your right as boxing fans to get mad at him. The only way we're gonna know who the best is when these guys get in the ring and fight each other. And in the case of someone like Deontay Wilder, you know, I think it was a really, really poor move on his part to not take the DAZN deal, because of the big three heavyweight, he is the oldest one. He's 33 years old. He'll be 34 in October. He's one horribly thrown punch away from like injuring himself further, from really putting a damper on his career. So Deontay Wilder, I think out of all three of them, he needs to get a move on, and he needs to fight Joshua for undisputed. And if he fights Joshua for undisputed, then guess what? You can fight Fury for undisputed, and the fight is bigger itself, you see? So we shouldn't get mad completely at Fury for fighting Tom Schwarz. Did I claim for this fight? No. I don't want to see him fight Tom Schwarz, but hey, it was a hand we were dealt as boxing fans. We're gonna have to watch it. You know, I'm gonna watch it. And who knows? It might be a more entertaining fight than we think, because that does happen. You know, just this past week, there was a fight between Sergey Lipinets and Lamont Peterson that was wildly entertaining. You know, that whole PBC card this week, and you know, big credit to PBC. They put on a good card this past week. You know, you had some good fights in the undercard. You had Vernon Brown versus Jamonte Clark, which is a good fight. Very entertaining fight. You know, it was one of the rare, you know, well put together PBC cards. So sometimes, as fans, we shouldn't just look at a matchup straight away and say, oh, that fight sucks. You know, sometimes and a lot of times we can be right, but also a lot of times we can be wrong. It's happened to me quite a few times this year with that PBC card this week. And like when Jaime Munguia fought Takashi Inoue, I didn't think that was going to be a good fight, and it wound up being, you know, arguably the fight of the year so far. So let's hold our judgments. You know, he's fighting Tom Schwarz. We're not happy about it, but it was expected, because you didn't honestly think, after ESPN threw him all that money and invested so much money into him, that they were just going to put him in there straight away with a top heavyweight, you know? Obviously, I think they could have went a better route and fought Joseph Parker or Povetkin, but they really want to make sure Fury gets a knockout, so they put him in there with somebody they think he can knock out. So there you have it. Tyson Fury, Tom Schwarz. That's my take on the whole situation. You guys can give me yours down below in the comments. I'm walking the streets of Hollywood right now, going to Daniel to get home. I've been working really, really hard at the Heavyweight Factory. Just for those of you guys who really fully follow my channel, who really ride with True School Sports, I'll let you guys know some of the interviews we got coming out here. We got an interview coming out with Jesse Robinson, who you guys may remember I interviewed in January. Got about 10,000 views. He's back on the channel. We got an interview with boxing promoter, local boxing promoter, Henry Rivalta, talking about the intricacies of promoting and things like that. And the Wilder DAZN deal from a promoter standpoint, what he thinks about it. That'll be out soon. We got an interview with prospects. Derek Cuevas, who's like 20-0 with welterweight from Puerto Rico. Got that coming out. Got a bad Blake Davis. He just made his pro debut. A tall, lanky, rangy southpaw light heavyweight on the come up. So we got him. And then we got some special stuff with Riddick Bowe hitting the punching bag. So good stuff coming out here on True School Sports. Got even more stuff coming up. Hopefully, if I'm at the right place at the right time, the interview that I really want to get this week will happen. But stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to True School Sports for all your boxing news and content. And like I say in every single one of these videos, and we can say it louder because we're outside. All right? You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.